We back, baby. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those that don't know me, my name is India and we are on video 4 of my Dear Class of 2026 and Beyond, and this one is on how to choose the right college. Okay, so my right college, my one, was the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. So I'm going to talk about choosing the right college. This is one of the biggest things that comes up in the college process. Of course it does, because where are you going? Okay, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to give an overview as always, and then I'll go directly into everything. So I'm gonna talk about how to narrow your options, and the biggest factors in narrowing and knocking down your options are academics, finances, opportunity, experience, environment, and location. And of course, the main idea, the theme, the takeaway from this video is going to be that patience is a virtue. I'm telling you, be patient, sweetheart. Now, academia. Ask yourself when you're starting to narrow down schools and when you're first applying to schools, does this school have your intended major? Here's an example. I've given this example before in my very first video. Go watch it if you haven't. It's literally a rundown on the entire college application process, and it gives you tips and tricks on everything. I highly advise you watch it. I wish I would have known everything that's in that video before I started applying. And also watch my second video, which, what was it? Oh, how I got in. If you want to know my stats, my GPA, my recommendations, my resume, all that stuff catered to me and how I got into every school that I applied to. But diving back into this video, an example of choosing a school that has your intended major is me in Spelman. Now, at the time when I applied to Spelman, I was considering going the law track, and I wanted to major in political science while minoring in African American studies. What I failed to realize was that my backup, which was business, was not offered at Spelman. So, key tip number 1, make sure the school you are applying to has your intended major and your backup majors with the S, okay? Because yes, I wanted to be a political science major, but as everyone knows, we change our minds all the time. I haven't even gotten there and I've already changed my mind. And Spelman does not have business options, and I am a business major, so I really just wasted like $50, $60 applying to Spelman because they don't even have my major. Another example, there are a lot of schools that are catered towards things. So like Spelman is catered to like the social sciences, like history, English, that type of thing. FAMU is an agricultural school. So if you want to be a veterinarian, or you know, even business, we have a strong business program. Engineering, those types of things, that's FAMU. Same with Tuskegee, it's the same way. And North Carolina A&T, those are agricultural schools. So you know, if you want to do something agricultural in the farming field, the animal sciences, stuff like that, go to those schools. Or even technical stuff, go to those schools. If you're trying to do performing arts, or you know, something of that realm, art, fashion, you're not gonna really find that at FAMU. FAMU has a performing arts program, but we're not gonna go there. But like Howard University has an amazing performing arts program. If you want to major in something that's like art or even fashion, that type of stuff, that is at Howard University. So those are, you know, put 2 and 2 together. Even business, Howard has an amazing business school. Just choose a school that has your major and your backup. That way, you know, if you end up changing your major, you can still stay at that school. Now, next question is, how strong is their program? And what goes into play when you're thinking about how strong a program is their alumni associations. Really, any HBCU is gonna have a strong alumni association because we ride for our school, okay? Like, it don't matter, FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Howard, Spelman, Clark, it doesn't matter, Tuskegee. Everybody who graduated from that school is gonna ride for their school. But there are some colleges that don't have a strong alumni association, and with alumni associations comes opportunities like internships, job positions, stuff like that. So you want to ask yourself, you know, what are their alumni associations like? If you don't know, visit their website or search Howard University Alumni Association for Atlanta, or just Alumni Association in general. Next are networking opportunities. Are there or like if you're a business major, a lot of them have business expos. Does your school have business expos where there are Fortune 500 companies present? Can you find an internship at your school? For FAMU, we are required to have an internship to graduate from the School of Business. So like, what are the networking opportunities like? Are there opportunities provided? What about, you know, studying abroad? What are the opportunities, you know? Also, professors. There are gonna be bad professors at any school you go to, but you know, I've heard a lot of things. I don't want to say the school, but I've seen YouTube videos, a lot of people complaining about a specific department at a specific HBCU. And if you see people complaining about professors, don't not believe them. Like, if you say, don't take this professor, don't take this professor, or all the professors in this school suck, I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna save myself the trouble. I'm not even gonna test it because I'm paying for this education. So I'm gonna make sure I go somewhere where I feel appreciated and where I feel like my education is valued, okay? Next is the curriculum. This is a big tip. Before you decide to apply as a specific major, go on that school's website, go to that, or go on your institution's website, then go straight to your school. So for me, School of Business and Industry, and look up the curriculum for your major. So for me, I'm a business administration major. So what I did was I looked up the curriculum for it. And what this curriculum is going to tell you is every single class you are going to take within your entire 4 years in order for you to graduate. Now, when I was applying to Tuskegee, they didn't have that on their website. So what I did was I emailed the chairs and the directors of their business program to get the curriculum for the marketing, for the supply chain management, and for the management majors at Tuskegee University. So if it's not on the website, be proactive, email somebody and ask for it, because I promise you they should be more than willing to just send it to you, because they want you to come to their school. So they're gonna do what they gotta do to get you there. And then again, internship opportunities, are they available? You know, you yourself have to get the internship. You know, you secure the bag, you get the internship, but are they putting you in a position where you can, you know, get there? Are they helping you get that internship? Are they placing these Fortune 500 companies in front of you and allowing you the opportunity to secure that internship? Next is finances. This is the second most important thing. How much does the school cost, okay? Can you afford the school? Now, water break, because my throat dry, y'all, I'm sorry. It's different for everybody. Me personally, I am not willing to go into debt for college. You know, the whole, do you follow your heart, do you follow the money? That's a real thing. And when you're actually in that position, I promise you, whatever you thought you were for, it's gonna switch. Because before I even applied to college, I was like, oh, I'm not choosing my heart, you know. No, like, why would I go into debt for school? But then when I was in that position and I was balancing like Howard, it was really Howard because I was really about to be a bison, like seriously. I was so close to choosing Howard. Like, it's real. When you're in that position, like, you literally cannot judge anyone for following their heart if you are not in their position. Like, you don't understand what happens, what goes on. Cause I was there, okay? But just ask yourself, you know, are you willing to go into debt? Or how are you going to pay for this school? What are you willing to do as far as scholarships to, you know, apply for scholarships or opportunities to help pay for your school? Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to acquire debt, but we do what we have to do to get our education. And it's sad to say that, you know, we have to go into debt, or not we, but it's sad to say that many people have to go into debt just to get their education, just to go right back into the working field and then already be at a disadvantage. But that's how America being America. So ask yourself, how much does it cost? Ask yourself, can you afford it? Ask yourself, does the school offer scholarship opportunities? So for me, one of the major reasons why I chose FAMU was because of the amount of scholarship opportunities provided. I was able to acquire an alumni association scholarship from FAMU. And that added $5,000 to, you know, my scholarship, you know? So FAMU has a lot of opportunities. They have a whole bunch of scholarship pools that you can enter. You can test for scholarships, which is what I had to do. That Alex test is no joke. Let me just say, study for it, but that's gonna be in my FAMU 2026 and beyond video. But FAMU provided a lot of scholarship opportunities, and that was one of the major reasons why I chose them. And let me just say, I took a leap of faith because my entire FAMU scholarship was dependent upon my test score, and my heart was sold on FAMU at that point. And so I literally took a leap of faith because I didn't know whether or not I was going to make the test score I had to, but I had to submit that deposit before I could take that test. So I literally took a leap of faith and I followed my heart to obtain my FAMU scholarship. So that's another thing. You're gonna have to take a leap of faith, you know. If it was meant to be, it's gonna be. And it did. It did what it had to do for me. Next, if you had to take out a loan, how much would you need and who would pay it off? So are you paying the loan? Are your parents paying the loan? Your guardian, your grandparents? Are you taking out a loan? If you are, how much? And let me just say, take the least amount of a loan out as possible, because you are going to have to pay that off. And if you have to get, I don't know if it's subsidized or unsubsidized. I took financial literacy, but that went in one ear and out the other. I shouldn't have said that, because we all should take financial literacy. That's a very important class. One of them has interest. If it has interest, you definitely want to try and avoid as much as you can, because that stuff adds up. And that's how people, you know, they'll take out a $10,000 loan, and then by the time school is over, now they owe $40,000. So you don't want to be in that position. Next, how much have you received in scholays and financial aid from the school? Now, for scholarships, merit scholarships, you should know how much you have before you get your financial aid. So for me, like, if you get a merit scholarship, you're gonna know you have that merit scholarship more than likely before you get your financial aid. That was a different story for Howard. Each school is different, but for every other school, I knew that I had, you know, I knew I had a merit scholarship from Tuskegee, from FAMU, from North Carolina A&T, Clark. I knew I had a merit scholarship from them before I got my financial aid. Then just make sure you're continuously applying to outside scholarships. So, you know, if you say, okay, this school costs $50,000, they gave me a $25,000 scholarship, I have $25,000 left. You should be hustling on these scholarship websites trying to get that money, and just putting yourself in the best position as possible so you can obtain as much scholarships as you can. Now, that is not to say, because these scholarships, the scholarship hustle is real, and like, you gonna get declined. So things happen, you know, and at that point, that's when, you know, you have to take out a loan, because these scholarships, you know, they be picking and choosing, and I'll talk about that in my scholarship video. Also ask yourself, what outside opportunities have you applied for, received, or plan to apply for? Again, just try and apply to as many scholarships as you can, because ultimately that is free money. And you know, you don't want to avoid scholarships. If you're that person that just avoids applying to scholarships altogether and just says, okay, I'm just gonna take out a loan, I think you should rethink, you know, rethink just going straight into the loan option. Give yourself a chance to obtain scholarships. You want to completely waste out the opportunity of getting these scholarships before you pick out a loan. Everybody's different, everybody's situation is different. Do what you have to do, but before you take out that loan, just ask yourself if you've exhausted scholarship opportunities. Now, opportunity-wise, this is section 3. Student life. What are the clubs and organizations like? You know, what type of, you know, women's organizations, men's organizations, LGBTQ organizations, business organizations, service organizations, Greek organizations. Like, what's the student life like, you know? With that, networking opportunities, already said that. But for me, I am an entrepreneur, so I needed to go to a school that highlights entrepreneurs a lot, which, I mean, any HBCU is gonna do that. But I really, you know, I really highlighted the fact that the AUC has a Market Wednesday, which is similar to FAMU's Set Friday, which is similar to Tuskegee's Market Friday. I think that's what they call it. But like, if I want to, you know, be a vendor and sell stuff at an event during my school, those schools have it. I feel like Howard has something, I just don't know. They have something called First Friday, but I don't know if that's like the same thing. But like, I wanted somewhere where I could, you know, promote my business as a vendor. So that was big for me. Also for opportunities, internships, study abroad, partnerships with Fortune 500 companies. I kind of already talked about that. So we're gonna go to the next one. Experience. Now with it don't matter what HBCU you go to, you're gonna get a hell of an experience, okay? Social life, parties, events. It's gonna be stuff every day regardless of where you go. But you know, that is a major aspect. Also HBCU versus PWI. For me, I knew PWI was not an option. So I applied to Georgia State as a safe school, and because, you know, it's majority minorities there, but I still knew I wanted the HBCU experience regardless. So that's why 6 out of 7 of my schools were HBCUs. Housing, availability and type. HBCUs, you know, housing, we done heard about a housing crisis for just about every HBCU. And if you haven't, it's happened. You just don't hear about it. Are you gonna be staying in community style dorms? Are you gonna have your own bathroom? What is it gonna be like? FAMU has nice dorms. You know, we just opened Towers for freshmen. It is a very nice dorm. We have Village. FAMU has nice housing. So if you're the type that needs their own bathroom, you know, think about FAMU. But the thing about housing is that you better apply as soon as it opens, because being homeless at an institution is really real. Like, it's real. Housing goes out so fast. So you want to make sure that you know what type of housing they have, what type of housing you want. You might not get it, but what you want, and then make sure you know around what time it's opening. You probably won't know the exact date, but around what time, and be on that screen when it opens. Next, transportation. Can you have a car? FAMU fooled me because I thought we were gonna be able to have our car, but now they're saying we can't have our car. So I'm gonna be carless in Tallahassee, but that's okay, because I know, you know, they want freshmen to, you know, not, you know, be going off campus, and they want to keep us on and let us get familiar with Tallahassee before we bring our cars. But like, if you're thinking about Tuskegee, oh yeah, you're gonna want to have your car, because Tuskegee's in the middle of nowhere. You're gonna want your car. But you know, can you have a car? Do you need a car? Because if you're like, if you go to like Spelman, Clark, Morehouse, or even Howard, you're in a urban city that has, you know, a train. And for me, or like metro, for me personally, being that I live in Atlanta, of course I would bring my car. But the thing about Atlanta is you gotta pay for parking. Then you don't want to just leave your car anywhere, especially like where the AUC is. And then like the type of parking, I'm horrible at parallel parking, but at an HBCU, no matter what HBCU you go to, it's gonna be parallel parking everywhere. So, you know, being able to have, you know, a metro to ride and to take you around the city, and you're not having to rely on where's my car, that's kind of useful. And that's what you would get at like a Howard, because Howard is in the city, and at the AUC because the AUC is in the city. Next, environment / location. Is it in the city? Is it in the suburb? Is it in the middle of nowhere? An example of this: Howard and the AUC are in the city. Tallahassee is not a suburb, but it's not, you know, Atlanta / DC type of city. So I'm gonna put that with suburb. Tuskegee's in the middle of nowhere. And I think NCAT is like in the middle of like a Tallahassee and middle of nowhere, because a lot of people say it's not really, like, you gotta go, what is it, Charlotte, North Carolina. You gotta go, I don't know. But yeah. Now, is it in-state? Is it out-of-state? In-state automatically, well, if it's private, it's gonna be expensive regardless. So like Tuskegee, it don't matter where you live, Tuskegee gonna be $45,000 whether you in-state or out-of-state, because it's a private institution. But you know, it's cheaper to stay in-state for a public school than to go out-of-state. Because like with FAMU is like $30,000. But if you're in-state, it's only $15,000, which isn't bad at all. And an example with that for me, one of the major reasons why I could not choose Howard is because I have a business, and my business is making hair care products. It's gonna be linked in the description below, so go check it out. I cannot make my hair care products in DC. So I needed to choose a school that I could drive to. FAMU's only like 4 hours away, so that was decent. But now I don't have my car, so you know, I gotta plan stuff out. but like I needed to be able to access my home because I can't bring everything I use to make my products into a dorm room. That's not gonna work. So I have to be able to travel. So that's why Tuskegee and FAMU really took the uphold on that, and I had to say no to Howard because my business is everything to me and I want to continue that throughout college. So that was one of the things that helped me narrow down, you know, I had to let go of Howard. That was one of the hardest things I ever did. Next, you know, the people there. So are you getting Southern hospitality or, you know, that Northern style stuff? Howard is an example, and even like well, I don't know, Hampton's in Virginia, but I don't know how they are down there. But like with Howard, you're gonna have lots and lots of New York people, lots of Northern people, you know, because you're in the DMV. They're gonna have a different style, and you're in the city. They're gonna have a different, you know, style, a different vibe than if you go, you know, to Tuskegee or Southern or something like that, because Southern hospitality is a real thing. Next, tour. I'm telling you, when you tour a school, you are going to know. There was a point in time where I was all about Tuskegee. It was mainly because of that scholarship. I was all about Tuskegee. But then I visited Tuskegee, which I've been to Tuskegee before, but that visit just really told me, India, you can't go here. Like, I really wanted to go to a school that was in the city. So I was like, Tuskegee, it's not gonna work out. So that's why, you know, FAMU is in the middle for me, you know. It was compromised for me. Now, next, and I think this is the last part, is patience. So you do not have to know where you're going immediately. You're gonna want to know immediately, but I'm telling you, as time progresses and as all of these things happen, you're gonna start getting emails from schools. You know, just pay attention to the communication that they have, the organization as far as being organized. No school's gonna be organized, I'm gonna tell you up front, but you know, who has their stuff together more than the other. Just image, you know, like that type of stuff. You're gonna come March, you're gonna know where you want to go. And I will say this, a lot of scholarships have deadlines, so if you don't commit to a school by a certain date, you will lose your scholarship. For me, with like Clark Atlanta, I had to commit to them by March 1st or I would lose my scholarship. Most other ones are May 1st, but you definitely, I would say, have your decision made in March or April, really April. But for me, I was committed, I committed to FAMU Valentine's Day. That was when I submitted my housing deposit, yep. But you really wanna be committed by like March, and you wanna wait after you get your financial aid. But like right after you get your financial aid, that's around the time that February, March, that's when you really should be committing to a school. Pretty much the whole point of this video is just to say that things will align with time. As time goes on, when you start getting emails about scholarships, about opportunities, about housing, just the communication in general, you'll start narrowing down schools along with, you know, stuff like social life, location, cost, that type of stuff. You'll start narrowing down schools. I'm telling you, it will happen. And you'll begin to you'll be able to knock schools off your list. And for me, that was, you know, FAMU, baby. I didn't even say that I toured FAMU, but I did tour FAMU and I loved it. So touring really does help. But I'ma shut up. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys liked it. Do, you know, like, comment, subscribe for more. This is not the last video. I think the next video up is my Dear FAMU 2026 and beyond. I'm going to be talking about everything FAMU, from my application process to tips and tricks, from the ALEX to housing to the campus, all of that. I'm going to be talking about everything. So if you're applying to FAMU, and if you want to be, you know, a baby rattler next year, and if you want to be FAMU 2026, watch that video. I will link it up here once it is made. But other than that, that is it. We are out. I hope you liked it. I will see y'all in the next one, and goodbye.